welcome to another video. Today we're going to be pretty much reviewing Season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead. So, Season 2 just ended 4 days ago? Something like that. I don't know. I don't really care either. But anyway, sorry. Yeah, we're going to be reviewing the full Season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead. So I gotta kind of think out of my memory for the first half, but the second half I obviously have notes here, and yeah, because the first half I didn't do notes, so I'm not really sure. Every episode I've done a rating, so what I'm gonna do is average them all out, and I'll come out with final rating. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that today, right now, right here. Yeah. So first, let's start with like the first half. Now, if I get some things wrong, I'm sorry. It's been a while. Okay, it was back like what, May, something like that. That Fear the Walking Dead Season 2 started. So that was a while ago. All I remember is the first episode, the premiere, wasn't very good. I remember that. There was a gnarly death with the boat and the motor. I remember that. And they were all getting on the Abigail for the first time. So that was kind of cool getting onto the Abigail. But after that, the rest of the episode, I mean, you should have a premiere that like just kicks off the season and should be really good. And they didn't do that. And I don't really agree of how they did that, but whatever, it's their show. But we're gonna talk about some stuff at the end of this video that maybe some of you can vote down in the comments, or stuff about Fear the Walking Dead that I believe is true but I don't like. So let's go through this. Episode 2 was called We All Fall Down, right? Yeah. And it was with Melissa and I don't know the other people, but it was like a whole family of people, and you pretty much just went through the episode. They went to an island, met a family, the family died, they left the island. So really the episode's completely irrelevant. So you really, if you wanted to, if you were binge watching Season 2 or Fear the Walking Dead, you could really just skip that episode because nothing new. All that's important to know is that the little boy and the big brother kind of went off with each other by themselves. So I don't know if we're going to see them again. That would be kind of cool if we did, but I don't see them bringing them back. And then we went back onto the Abigail, and Alicia, I remember, started getting on some calls, and they came across the little island, and this was episode 3, Ouroboros. And yeah, so they were like getting stuff, and this was flight 462, is that what it was? I don't know, don't get mad at me if I'm wrong, but we met Alex, right? Alex on the plane, and they crashed into the ocean. And yeah, Ouroboros was pretty cool. I think Ouroboros was one of the best episodes of the first half, and yeah, that was definitely one of the best episodes. Episode 4, We All Fall Down, that was when we actually got to Mexico, and I'm pretty sure it's when Nick walked through the streets off the boat and everything by himself, and kind of found he found that one guy. It was like Strands. It was like Thomas's bodyguard or something. I don't know what he was. I forget. And then we got some stuff with this new place. It was like, it was like that port or whatever. And episode 5, I think, was called Captive or something. And we had like the thing where soon will happen in Walking Dead, probably Season 8. And they did that little thing, which kind of stole it from Walking Dead, but that's fine. Where they took the captive, and he was a zombie, and fed him, and then used him as a trap to the other people. So that was really smart. I mean, that was really smart, but it was kind of stolen for The Walking Dead. And you guys, if you read the comic, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you just watch the show, then you'll find out in a year or something. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And then episode 6 was called Sick at Curvis, I'm pretty sure. That's when they arrived at the Mexico community, and they met Celia. See, I'm trying to remember these names off my head, and I think I'm doing pretty good so far. So they go there, and Thomas is there, so Strand gets with him, and Thomas ends up dying, I think, at the end of that episode, and because he was like shot, or no, he was bit. That's right, he was bit, right? Yeah. And we find out Celia is hiding zombies, and then comes the mid-season finale, where we have Celia's death, and Nick splits off from Madison, Daniel dies, and yeah, they kind of split apart into little groups. And Travis and Chris kind of leave Madison's group also. So now we go into the second half. Now this is where I have notes, so this should be a little easier. So the first episode of the second half was Grotesque, and that was with it was a whole Nick episode. So we had a little stuff with him, and he went to Luciana found him, and they kind of went off together, and we found the new community, the Colonia, and also we met Alejandro that episode for the first time. Then we went to Los Meritos, and we had the sacrificing, and we find out a little bit more about the Colonia. And then the Abigail, we find out that was lost, and then we go into the hotel, which was awesome, new place, and then we find that's pretty stocked with stuff. We had some stupid stuff with Madison and Strand being drunk. These are all, I have reactions on all these episodes, except I think I stopped from like 4 to 5 or something. Like 3, 4, and 5 I don't think I have reactions for on my channel, because I like stopped them for a little bit. But yeah. We had some stuff with, Ophelia left Alicia in this episode. And then there was a little cliffhanger with Madison and the bar with Strand. I gave this episode a 7.9, so that was a okay episode. Actually, no, it wasn't very good. Grotesque, I gave what? I gave that a 8.6. And then there's Do Not Disturb, one of the best episodes of this whole season. And I gave this a 9 in ratings. We got the little wedding thing. We met Elena, the elevator. Alicia's a savage. I wrote down. Okay. Brandon's group. We see Chris and Travis for the first time in the second half, and where their kind of story's going. And then we went on to Pablo and Jessica, which I gave an 8.4. And we had some stuff with Maddie, with the guts, and Strand. Nick was starting to make pills at the Colonia, and Nick gets his own house, and then Nick and Luciana hook up at the end of that. Maddie starts clearing out all the zombies out of the hotel, which was pretty cool. Find out who Jessica is and everything. And then Pillar of Salt, I gave that an 8.2, episode 12. And I remember Strand gets stabbed in this one, and they start kind of actually growing like a life in the hotel. And Maddie makes a peace speech about if anybody touches anybody, that you're out. We hear about the Narcos, and Maddie turns the hotel lights on. Travis sees the lights, and let's see here. And then we have Fear the Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 13, Date of Death. This was a pretty good episode also, but I gave it a really low rating. I gave it a 6.1, which is really low. And, so we got Alicia finds out about her dad in this episode, which was really sad. But then we got some stuff with Travis and Baby James dying and stuff like that. And then we go on to the 2-hour finale, which was Wrath and North, where Brandon dies, Chris dies, Ophelia enters the U.S., Nick starts to go into the U.S. until he gets that army little hassle. They leave the hotel, Maddie leaves the hotel. The Colonia is kind of left behind, Alejandro dies. The Narcos are taken out. So yeah, I'm going to go and calculate up all this. I'm going to give the first half a 6 for a rating, because I didn't really like it, because we kind of just went through a bunch of stuff and then just left it all behind. It was no reason for any of it. The only thing I see anything potential that we would need, like, you could probably skip to episode 8 and probably just be caught up and just say Nick split off from the group and they're in Mexico. That's like all you could say, and then you're ready for the second half. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I know some of you might disagree with me, but okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna open up a calculator, and I'm going to go ahead and add up all these. So I gave, okay, let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna go ahead and rise up the rating a little bit for Date of Death, because after I kind of thought about it, you know, it was a pretty good episode. So I'm going to rise it up to a 6.6, and it was originally a 6.1 plus 6.6. And remember, these are ratings for Fear the Walking Dead, like Fear the Walking Dead standards. Like, say if I gave a Walking Dead episode a 9.4, say, that doesn't mean Wrath was a better episode from, say, the first episode of The Walking Dead, which I'll probably give almost a 10, like 9.9 or 10. So, just remember, it's in Fear the Walking Dead standards here. Like, so, when I go into Walking Dead, if I give one of the episodes from Walking Dead a 9.8, obviously I mean that the Walking Dead episode's better, even though they're both they're the same rating. But this is Fear the Walking Dead standards. Walking Dead standards are going to be a little bit high, so if they have a sucky episode, it's probably going to go down to like a 5 or something. So I'm not going to be as harsh on Fear the Walking Dead, because I know they don't have a high budget, because if you think back to Walking Dead Season 2, it wasn't that good either, so you got to think about that kind of stuff. Okay, that's a pretty good rating. I didn't think it was going to come out that good. But, so my final rating for Fear the Walking Dead Season 2 is an 8.18, so almost a 9. No, that's not right. I'm stupid at math. It's about an 8.1 or an 8.2. So that's my rating for season 2, which is that's pretty good. That's pretty good for The Walking Dead. Good job. Yeah, I thought it was gonna end up at like a 6 or something. So yeah, it came out really good. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave your rating down in the comments. I personally really enjoyed the second half of the season, not really much of the first half, because I mean, we've seen the little port and everything, but we really didn't get much of it. So yeah, so the second half was more meaningful to the story, I think, instead of the first half. So I swear I seen a bug in my camera, like flying around the background. But the question I was gonna ask you guys: do you think Fear the Walking Dead cast is gonna become the Whisperers? I want to know, guys. Tell me. Do you think they're going to become the Whisperers? Because I honestly think they will, and I don't want them to. So, yeah, keep that thought in your mind. Put it down in the comments. Put your rating. Put fear. And put your other thing. I don't know. Just, it's confusing. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye!